much, Honorable Speaker. First, I want to congratulate both members, Honorable Mule and Honorable Gishimu, for this timely bill. Secondly, I want to thank the Speaker and the House Business Committee for the ingenuity of availing the opportunity of a pre-publication motion that would allow members to ventilate, thus obviating the very rigorous processes that go in before you get this. I want to urge the Speaker and the House Business Committee to use the same ingenuity to obviate the 90 pre-publication period, or the period that has been said that have to be mandatorily undertaken before this can be brought to the House for conclusion. And lastly, also on these preliminary points, to ask that the House Business and the Speaker use the same ingenuity to ensure that motions that private members discuss on Wednesday morning also have a similar pre-publication for platform with similar weight, so that from there, this can go directly to drafting and therefore then to a bill. Let me make my quick, powerful points before I go to, and I'll start with three quick things that I think we need to do. First of all, the question of time. I've listened a lot to what members have said, and all those will come to this, that unless this bill is drafted and filed timeously, the people who I refer to are people who are the perpetrators of executive conspiracy against members of parliament, are waiting in tow to ensure that this question of the judgment being delivered in court by December actually takes place before this bill is assented. So unless this is done timeously, all that we are doing here will be of no effect. Honorable Speaker, the other point that I needed to make on these very quick points that I need to make is that this House must peg the bringing of any other serious government bill, including the supplementary budget that will come. It should be pegged to the question of this bill having been debated and passed, or in its place, Treasury has released all the funds that are due to the 290 constituencies. Honorable Speaker, I also want to raise a red flag on this issue, because along the way you will find that there are crocodiles along the way that you need to deal with. There is a monster Article 115 in the Constitution, which I have raised in the previous Parliament, and which the predecessor ruled against. You need to watch that even after we pass this bill, and I'm sure we will, Article 95 allows the President to refer back a bill under Article 1157 to the House with a memorandum, with the possibility that unless you raise a two-thirds majority, then he has overturned essentially what you have passed. The effect of that, which was what I argued in the previous Parliament, is that it imports what in the US they have called the line veto amendment, which is unconstitutional. It allows the executive head of government to become a legislator through the back door by returning to you a bill, which, if you cannot raise two-thirds, becomes law. So that is something that we must look at, and therefore, the people who are going to be in the caucus championing this bill must not only look for bipartisanship between the Senate and the National Assembly, for acceptance and acceptability with the Treasury people, the Attorney General, and the other stakeholders. They must also look for political goodwill from the executive arm of government, and in particular, the President, that this will be passed. Mr. President, Honorable Speaker, I also want to support, and maybe I'm wishing him good tidings in terms of referring him to Mr. President. That is futuristic. I do want to agree lastly with Honorable TJ Kajwang that we must separate these funds. These bills, they must be separate, 4 bills in terms of CDF, NGAF, Senate oversight, and economic stimuli, without demeaning the NGAF funds, and I believe they are in equal standing as the CDF fund. I thank you.
On Majimbo Kalasinga. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for having given me this time to add my sentiments on this very important initiative. Mr. Speaker, you realize that we come from a constituency. And every Thursday when we leave, Mr. Speaker, to go to our constituencies, meet our people, you get thousands of students